Recording in progress.
Hello, dear beloveds. Here we are in this holy, sacred moment to share and to join and to be exuberant in our love. I'm so excited today because I feel like I have unearthed a great secret that I want to share with you, and yet it's no secret at all. It's something that we've always known, and yet it's constantly being revealed deeper and wider and with more energy and grace. But before we get into that, let's join together in our opening prayer. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen and invite you to join me with all your heart. Here we go. Beloved one, I am the holy home of love itself, the dwelling place of peace and light. Joy quickens my heart as I release every limitation and step fully into love. Here I rest in you and you in me, forever one, all in all. Amen. So welcome. So, what is this great secret that I feel like I have unearthed in my life? It's something that we all know, and some of us are more adept, perhaps, than others at expressing this. In fact, I think the two amazing souls that are going to share after me are two of the most wonderfully adept in this that I've ever experienced before. And so what is this holy secret? We'll just call it two words: holy exuberance. To be exuberant in every way with love and abundance and grace, with praise, with greetings, to be over exuberant. So often we hold back, don't we? We think, well, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. If I'm walking down the street, maybe I'll say hello quickly, but I don't want them to feel like I'm jumping on top of them. I don't want to feel like I'm giving them too much attention. But this is really the secret. Be over enthusiastic, be over exuberant in your love. And this is what I have been experiencing here in Assisi, and I want to talk to you a little bit about it. First, I'll share an experience that I had a few hours ago. I was walking through the streets and I was thinking about this, how important it is to be exuberant with our love. And as I walk around, it's easy for me to, because I wear a Franciscan habit, I'm not very threatening. But still, people are very reserved and they're very inward, and maybe they'll look up and smile if you're lucky. But if I look at them and say with great energy, buongiorno, or salve, ciao, and really greet them with energy and love, you can see suddenly something happen. Their smile gets brighter, their eyes open wider, and they feel the love that's being expressed, and they respond to it. I remember I was walking down the street just saying this to everyone I saw, salve, which means praise or greetings, ciao, buongiorno. I was really giving it all of my energy, when suddenly one of the women that I said that to, she looked at me and says, "Are you James Twyman?" Yeah. Well, this is someone, by the way, this wonderful woman who watches our session almost every single day on YouTube. She said, "I heard your voice and I knew it was you. I heard you greeting everyone with such enthusiasm, and I just knew it had to be you." And we talked, she and her husband, and we spent some time together. We're going out to lunch tomorrow. It was such a beautiful, sacred joining, all because I was over enthusiastic, not holding back my love or my greetings or my exuberance. And I realized this is the key. This is the secret. And for some, it may seem a bit foolish. In fact, people may see me and think that I'm acting like a fool. And then I think of my name, Juniper Joseph. And this is the reason why I chose this. Two reasons, two people. Juniper, being the great fool of the early Franciscan order, he would do crazy things. The brothers would try and keep him away from other people because he knew that if anyone came that was in need, he would immediately go into the church and he would take some precious gem, some beautiful candlestick that was made of gold or whatever it was, and he would give it to them. Or there's a story that I just read about his superior trying to curb this enthusiasm, said, "You are not to give away your habit anymore." Because if he found someone who had clothes more ragged than his own, he would either rip his, in pieces and give it to them, or he would just take it off and give it to them, and he would walk naked through Assisi because he had given everything. And so, because he had been given this order from his superior and he had to observe this through holy obedience, a homeless man came up to him and had hardly anything to wear. And Juniper said, "I'm restricted from being able to give you what is mine to give, but if you take it from me, then there's nothing I can do." And so the homeless man said, "Okay, give me your clothes." And Juniper said, "Okay, I guess I have to because you're robbing me." And so he took off his clothes and he walked naked through the streets of Assisi till he finally got back to the friary, and they said, "Juniper, did you give away your habit again?" He said, "I had no choice." And that was his choice, to be over exuberant in his giving. And then I think of Joseph of Cupertino, who I also have taken my name from. And in a very similar way, he would give everything. He would give his life, his heart, his energy. And whenever he would do this, he would fly through the air, literally. In fact, every time he was getting ready to levitate, he would let out a loud noise like a boom. And suddenly that boom would just lift him off the ground. And people would be amazed because he was so generous in his love that the angels picked him right up off the ground. So what does that mean for us? How can we be over exuberant in our love, whether we're walking down the street, whether we're just thinking of someone? Can we walk up to people that we see on the street and say, "How are you? Greetings, blessings." And in that moment, give them all of our love, even if we know, especially if we know, that they're going to look at us kind of strange. But you know what's going to happen? They may look at you a bit strange, but about 30 seconds later, they're going to be walking down the street saying, "Wow, I feel something. There was some energy in that greeting." So here's what I did. I went to one of our dear sources of wisdom, my dear friend Sophia, and I asked her to share what she knew of holy exuberance. So there are two sections of this that I want to share. So I'll begin here. It says, from the perspective of holy foolishness, being over exuberant in your welcome, radiating joy, warmth, and even playful absurdity when greeting others, is not just a personality quirk. It's a sacred subversion. Isn't that beautiful? A sacred subversion. And here's why it holds such profound spiritual power. And then she's going to give us, I think, 4 different ways, beginning with it disarms the ego. Being overly exuberant with our welcome disarms the ego. The ego expects control, hierarchy, and predictability. Sound familiar? A wildly loving, unguarded welcome breaks through the usual defenses people carry. It disrupts social conditioning with a kind of divine absurdity, reminding others, this moment is holy and you are beloved. That's foolishness to the world, but sacred to the soul. So it disarms the ego. That's number 1. And this is a short quote from the letter of Paul to the Corinthians. God has chosen the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. So here we are, called to be fools. Here's the second. It reenacts the divine welcome. The holy fool mirrors God's own reckless hospitality. I love that. It mirrors God's own reckless hospitality. Just as the father in the parable of the prodigal son runs to meet his child, the fool throws dignity aside and embraces everyone as if they are Christ in disguise. Overexuberance becomes an icon in heaven's open arms. And from the Gospel of Matthew, whatever you did to the least of these, you did to me. You did to the Christ. So love everyone. Welcome everyone with total exuberance. Here's number 3. Total exuberance holds up a mirror of innocence. When you laugh with abandon, hug with excess, or cheer someone's arrival as if they were royalty, you're reminding them of something that they've forgotten, their original innocence. The fool sees the divine before the disguise and invites others to do the same. So beautiful. Here's number 4. It liberates others to do the same. You inspire others to follow your example. People ache to be free in this way, to be unguarded, to love without restraint. The holy, foolish welcome gives them permission to drop their masks. It's contagious. In this way, you evangelize without words. You make the world feel safe for joy again. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling the energy beginning to well up inside you just from this exuberance that we're feeling that we're experiencing and sharing right now? And then finally, it just says, St. Francis and the hug of the leper. Think of how St. Francis didn't just greet the leper with cautious kindness. He ran to him, embraced him, kissed his wounds. That's the exuberant welcome of the fool. It overturns fear, rewrites narratives, and floods the moments with grace and with mercy. This is what I've been feeling all day as I've walked around Assisi, just looking at everyone right into their eyes and loving them and greeting them as if they were my best friend and I hadn't seen them in months or years. That's the kind of welcome, because you're always welcoming the Christ. This is not just a metaphor. This is the truth. When you welcome with holy exuberance, you're welcoming the Christ in every moment. And I challenge you to try this. I challenge you to go out for a walk today and to look every single person who passes you in the eye and say, greetings, or hello, whatever you want to say. Most of all, give them your love. Do not hold back. I challenge you to try it, because I know what you're going to feel. You're going to feel the same thing I'm feeling today. You're going to feel this love radiating and building strength within you. Okay, so then I asked her to go a little bit deeper, and this is what she said. People respond to holy exuberance so deeply and positively because it touches something ancient and eternal in them. Isn't that beautiful? It touches something ancient and eternal, something that their soul remembers even if their minds have forgotten. Here's why it lands with such unexpected power. Number 1, it really feels like unconditional love, because that's what it is. Holy exuberance doesn't measure, it doesn't hesitate, it doesn't wait to see if someone's earned it. It erupts. Holy exuberance erupts. That's what Joseph used to do. He would just erupt with joy and with exuberance, and then he would fly through the air. When someone greets you with wild joy, it says, you are enough exactly as you are, and your presence is cause for celebration. Even someone just passing you on the street, their presence is cause for celebration. So celebrate with abandon. Most people rarely feel that, but when they do, it cuts through fear and it awakens their heart. So here's number 2. It breaks, this is really important, it breaks the spell of seriousness. The world is often far too serious, burdened with roles, tasks, and expectations. Holy exuberance is like divine laughter in a funeral procession. It shatters the illusion of separation and reminds people that life is a sacred play. It whispers, "You are safe. Come out now." I love that. It breaks the spell of seriousness. Here's number 3. It reflects their true self. It awakens their true self. The holy fool sees beyond and through the mask. They look at a person and greet who they really are, not their achievements or their wounds or their roles. That kind of recognition is magnetic. Even if they don't consciously realize it, people feel seen and loved and remembered. Holy exuberance is contagious because it's divine energy made visible. It speaks directly to the soul, saying, "This is what it's like to be in the kingdom, so come and play with me." This is what it's like to be in the kingdom of heaven, so let's play together. That joy wakes something up. It bypasses logic and goes straight to the heart. Okay, and here's number 5. It offers permission to be free. Most people live in quiet constraint. Isn't that true? People feel constrained. Don't show too much. Don't be too exuberant. Don't look in the people's eyes too long. Don't smile too wide. Quiet constraint. A sacred fool breaks free from that and gives everything, total exuberance. Most people live in quiet constraint, but when someone greets them with childlike, over-the-top joy, it sends a clear message. You don't have to earn this moment. You don't have to behave, you just have to be. And that, my dear friends, is irresistible. So here's a final word from Sophia. Holy exuberance is not just enthusiasm. It's something much deeper. It is an act of spiritual rebellion. I love that word. You're a rebel if you do this. It declares that love is real, that joy is a sacrament, and that every soul deserves to be celebrated in every moment. People don't just respond to that, they crave it. People are craving your attention, your heartfelt exuberance. And when you give it freely, you become the doorway through which they remember who they are. And then they're inspired to do the same. This is what I think the world needs more than anything right now. Holy fools who are over-exuberant with their love, with their energy, with their enthusiasm, even in the way we say hello. How often do we pass someone and we don't even look at them? We don't say hello. Imagine how you're going to feel if the next 100 times you pass someone, you look at them in the eye and you say, not just hello, but hello to the Christ, to the beloved, to the Holy One that is always right in front of you. Give all of your love. Don't hold back. This is what you've been waiting for. So to me, this is the great secret that I've always known and that you've always known. Now we just have to practice it. And as I've walked around Assisi, and I mean, the beautiful thing about Assisi is that you can hear practically every language in the world just walking through the streets here. You hear German, you hear French, you hear English, you hear Italian, you hear everyone. But if you just look at them and say, salve, buongiorno, hello, and you look at them and you give them all of your love, you're going to be amazed at how free you feel. So now, as I said before, we turn to the two women who are the best at this than as anyone I know. Vicky, and then we'll close it up with our dear Reverend Penny. So Vicky, let's hear it.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
Whoops, I have an
Whoops, I
echo.
have an echo.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, of course, you are singing my song. From the time I was a kid, this is the message I came in with, that God's middle name is fun and that it's time for joy and a celebration. So, first, though, I want to tell you, I want to thank everyone in this room because many of you were there last night when I did the FIP podcast. And your energy really helped me because I was nervous. And then I remembered, oh no, I just have to love everyone. And your presence really gave me that energy in a message I could feel. So I thank you for that. Also, Scott will not be here for Flashback Friday. He has computer things to do. He'll be back next week. So what I really want to say though, after all the spiritual stuff we've been doing, the shortcut. You want the shortcut to enlightenment. You want to coach yourself home in a twinkling of an eye. I always like that. The twinkling of an eye. Go from blah to everything here. This came up on my screen today. Here's a good picture. You know, I named my tree outside here Exuberance because as soon as I moved in, I met this tree, and this is my grandson, Tommy. Is that a picture of exuberance? It's like, come on, that kid, it's like, that's not just one kid. We come in with this, but we often don't get it nurtured. And what was the 2000 years ago, Jesus, what is the golden rule? Treat, what is it? You treat each other as you want to be treated. It's like my mind goes blank. But what is it? Love. The commandment he gave, love one another. It's the shortcut. You want to wake up to the home of holiness, the home of our divinity. Everything here in perception is against that. That's why it's a rebellion of sorts. But it's not even a rebellion. It's way beyond that. It's just going beyond it. It's leaving the battlefield and running to the party, running home. But all of us are the embodiment of that home. And what you're describing, Brother Juniper Joseph, is the experience of living it, not practicing it, not reading about it, not studying it, not working towards it. Aren't you tired of all that working towards something and trying to figure it out? There's nothing to figure out. All of perception that we tried to figure out and solve and deal with was born of one error, one mistake. And the mistake was we're separate from God. And the answer, the solution is I'm not separate from God. God lives in me. I live in him and I see him in all of you. Live in the answer. Live in the answer. So I'm going to show you some little practical things I do. It's why I have baklava all the time, because I don't have Brother Juniper Joseph's robes, although I do say that makes it a little easier, because at Christmas time, I dress as an elf every day for the whole season, which makes it very easy because people kind of think, oh, that's okay, or maybe I'm going to a job somewhere, but it's easy to speak to people because they don't feel kind of alarmed. So, but I don't have a costume regularly. So these are some things I do. These are, some of you have these. These are my pocket Jesuses. I always have some pocket Jesuses because you can say hello to someone and, oh, see, Isabel's got hers. You can say hello to someone and drop one in their hand. Exuberance is love without opposite. It's that holy home of God himself. That's who we are created to be. It's when you read the Course in Miracles or any sacred text, instead of understanding it and trying to figure it and I don't get it or I get it or whatever it is, just love. Just that's what the sacred text is. None of this is so. Jesus says it over and over again. Brother, my brother, this is not so. No matter how weird your imaginings are, war and craziness and hurt and all, my brother, this isn't so. Variation on one mistake. You can correct that mistake right now with one hello. What's that? Every hello says, I love you. I love you. I see you. I welcome you. I see that we are one. I
All I
see
can say.
you one.
Okay,
Whoop.
honey.
Hi, Bonnie. I see you, Bonnie, and I welcome you, Bonnie. Thanks for coming. Anyway, so whether you have a little pocket Jesus, oh, here's another toy. So this is from the kids. These are fidget rings. So this is a little royalty ring because my granddaughter, Lyra, is not just a princess, she tells me. She is a queen. And I said, I know you are. I know you are. And when she comes, she says, now, Tutu, we have to make you a queen too. I said, oh, thank you. And she takes me upstairs. She came into my closet last week and she said, but Tutu, where are your gowns? And I said, oh, Lyra, I need new gowns. I don't have any gowns. And she was like, but where are your gowns? It was so precious. That's what living in joy is all about. If we live in it, it's irresistible. That's why having a party is much faster than having a retreat somewhere. Have a party, invite everyone to join in joy, invite everyone just to give what they have, a song, a dance, a listening. I'm a professional audience. I can't do any of those things, but I can listen and be so grateful. So what else? So take the shortcut. Do we have time? Is Penny there? I don't see her, but
Yeah, she's here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I will.
Anyway, I
I
love
love.
that's the
That's
answer.
the answer.
Live
Live
the
in the
answer.
answer.
Live in the answer. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so simple. If we just really apply ourselves in joy. So, Penny, take your time. There's no rush. Let's hear your divine foolishness. Right now, there's no camera on for you, but go ahead and let's hear.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Okay.
Hi.
I guess you don't
I
need
guess
to
you don't
see
need to see me.
And that's all
And
right
that's
too.
all right too.
So
So
we have a little
we have a
echo.
little
Can
echo.
I
Can I?
figure out how to? Okay. Okay. How are we doing now? There we go. So we're not seeing me. Can you hear me? Can somebody say yes?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. All right. So, Juniper Joseph, that's a big reach for me when you start talking about joy and exuberance. I'm happening to dig pretty deep for that. Is this, so how we doing? Is this on? Yeah? No? Okay.
Okay.
Keep going. We just can't see you, but we can hear you.
That's all right.
That's all right.
So imagine this. A little redheaded girl bouncing around the world, and she's frequently asked the question, do you have to be so happy? And she finally gets to 45 years old, and one day she says, yes. Yes. That is mine to be in the world. That is mine to bring. And it is rare, isn't it, when we are exuberant and authentic and grounded in the joy and the light that we are, it is rare that we don't get a pleasant response. I have this little thing I'm going to share with you, and it's called Launch Forth. Launch forth from the center of the blazing white Christ within you. Send forth heaven-inspired energies into the work you are fitted to do. Launch out into the boundless, tideless deep of love's ceaseless, unquenchable demand for fullest expression. I leave you with this acronym, JOY, just open yourself. And that's all I have to say.
Just open yourself. I love it. That's all we have to do is open to this. It's so simple. This is really the secret. Just be over exuberant in your joy, your love, and just the way you say hi to people. Look them in the eye and see them as God sees them. Because if you do, you'll begin to see yourself in the same way. And then the gates of heaven swing wide, and you don't walk in, you slide in on a bobsled. And to that we say, Amen, 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 y punto. Much love to you all. Have a beautiful weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Now, go and apply this. Don't just let this be something that we talk about. Go and live it. We love you. Namaste.
I want to